Hello! Happy spooky season! So today's video is going to be all about making a Halloween costume, which is excellent and glorious, and it's actually been a couple years since I have managed to find the time to make my own costume, so I'm super excited about it. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a color-swapped Kiki's Delivery Service cosplay. And the reason I'm doing it color-swapped is because yes, Kiki's dress is a very traditional color for a young witch, as her mom points out, but my wonderful little Angus, oh hi Angus, yes, he's coming to say hello to me. Come here, come say hi to all the nice people. Come here. Yes, there's my good kitten. Okay, so my wonderful little Angus, he is a cream puff boy, and he's a much lighter color than Gigi, so I wanted to get a fabric that would match his fur, and I cut out with this wonderful, if the cat gets off of it, please get off of my fabric, little boo. Come on. There we go. So I come out with this wonderful, kind of light brown, very warm cotton jersey, and I'm going to use that to make the outfit, and then we can have a little photo shoot with Mr. Angus. And one thing that's actually really cool is that his birthday is on Halloween, so he is a spooky boy as well. So step one, we're going to lay out the fabric for cutting. Okay, so now we have our two halves of the dress. We've got the back half right here, and then the front half over there, which, as you can see, is very slightly shorter than the back. I wanted them to be almost the same length, but just a little bit shorter in the front, a little bit longer in the back. And the neckline, when I look at the pictures of Kiki's dress, kind of seem to be a crew neckline, but I do want to make the front a little bit more scooped out than it is. So I think that once I get that pinned intact, when I'm trying it on, I'm going to go ahead and probably trace a new neckline. So the next step is going to be a lot of pinning and a lot of tacking. So one thing that's really important, which is best to do pretty much as soon as you have the shoulder seams pinned and tacked, is to make sure that you've got the edges matched up on the skirt seam, on the skirt hem, because since I'm working with a knit fabric, it stretches. So if I don't have the edges matched up, what can actually happen is that the edges can stretch out of alignment while I'm putting them together, and I can end up with the skirt panel where one side's too long because it's actually been stretched out from where it's supposed to be. If you match up the edges of the skirt, so you have like the hem and the hem together, pin that first and then pin down the, pin that first and then pin down the length of the rest of the seam, you're not going to end up with a skirt where, you know, part of the panel is here and then the other panel is down here. it's been a couple days and I'm ready to start doing some other things with, there he goes, with the dress. Right now what I'm going to do is I've got the dress all tacked together. I'm going to try it on. I'm going to scoop out kind of the neckline that I'd like it to have. I already placed the pockets, so I'm going to have to be a little bit careful with how I put the dress on because there are pins sticking in where the pockets are going to go. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and try this on and see what I want to do for the neckline and for the sleeves, and maybe my fluffy assistant will come back up and at least hang out with me. Sorry the lighting's kind of weird, it just got really cloudy right before I decided to shoot, so here we are. Alright, so I've got the dress on. It's a little bit more form-fitting than Kiki's would be, obviously because she is a child and I'm an adult, but I've got the two panels kind of tacked together. You can probably see the tacking at the shoulder seams, and I've already placed where I wanted the pockets to be, like I said. Okay. Anyways, so hopefully that'll keep our boy occupied. He can stare out the window and try to chase the birds through it. Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and try to scoop out the neckline that I'd like. She has, Kiki has pretty much like a crew neckline, so I'm not going to scoop it out that much, but just a little bit easier to get the dress on over my head, just to scoop it out just a little bit more. Yes, I know, okay, so there'll be a brief delay while I pet the cat. Hey, baby. Yeah, look at you, silly boy. If you have a dress form to try your dress on and do the neckline that way, that would be ideal. As you can see, my assistant is not being very helpful. He's mostly just being a little bit of a brat. Yes, he is. I know, you don't like it when I call you a brat, poor boy. Anyways, let's go ahead and see if we can get this neckline at least kind of roughed out. I'd like it to come down to here, I think. So I'm gonna just trace it up and up a little bit, and once I'm not wearing this anymore, and once I'm not trying to stop the cat from eating tape off the floor, I'll probably be able to kind of even this out a little bit. Okay, so yeah, so that's what I want the final neckline to be, and then the next step is, of course, I have to cut out the sleeves, so I'm going to make them a bit like this. I actually realized that my sleeve pattern was just a little bit too long when I tried on the pattern itself, so I shortened it by folding the pattern in the center, and I'm going to just hold it down with some rocks. Alright, so having now spent most of the morning cutting out the sleeves and the pockets, I am ready to put everything together into the whole dress so that it will be complete instead of just being essentially a knee-length tank top, I guess. So I'm getting into the spirit of things. I've got a pumpkin to keep me company. I felt a little bit cold in my house, so I put on my spooky cobweb tights, and I'm ready to spend most of the afternoon and probably the next couple of days stitching everything together. Hand stitching is my favorite part, but if you are following along at home, this part will probably take you about 25 hours. One of my favorite things about hand sewing is you can take your project on field trips. I thought this covered bridge was pretty cool, and clearly the neighborhood kids also love it a lot. Unfortunately, Mr. Angie did not actually want to join me for the reveal because he had just woken up from a nap and was having a little bit of a bath, so... oh well, perhaps next time. Yowling in the background, Angus is walking around being a little silly, and baby, no, stop doing that. Stop. Sorry, there was a piece of tape on the floor and he was trying to eat it, so I can't let him. Oh my gosh, stop. Okay, I want you to sit here and behave yourself. Just sit here and behave yourself. Stop trying to eat tape off the floor, you silly baby. Yes, I know. I'm so mean. I'm so mean. I won't let you eat the tape. This man.